It's Sunday, another market review and projection. And last week we saw a run starting Thursday and into Friday. It was big. It took out the entire week. And if we look on the chart, we're almost up to the high of the week previous as well. So let's break it down and see where we could run this week. We are in the daily fair value gap up here. Are we going to go higher than that? Let's go out to the 4-hour. It's possible we take out liquidity up here, or we come into this area and then start going down. But because of the dollar, if we go to this chart, because of the dollar on the daily, it's been kind of consolidating, dropping down. Now, I have this area drawn out. The dollar did go in there and come off a little bit, but it's still kind of in this range, right? So I think we're still going to go higher up to this gap that's up here. I think it just wanted to clear out liquidity from here, here, and then, everyone's looking like, oh, we're getting on buys, right? So I think that's where the trap's coming in. Maybe we wake up above and the bodies pull back in. I would like to see something like that so we could come down to, this 1-hour order block, fair value gap, which is actually a daily fair value gap if you draw it out. Where that ran came from, if we look on the weekly, it was the halfway point of this giant wick. We got through that and then rocketed off. Looking on the weekly though, you could see we're closing up into these wicks right here. So we filled this entire gap down. Not really a gap, but the run down, that entire fair value gap was filled up. So we don't really have any space besides that little more, right? So on the daily, 4-hour and lower, it's looking pretty bullish. But when you zoom out, if we go even further out to the month, we're actually still in this range. And we grab the liquidity above here. So still looking promising to go down. We need it to show us that it's going to go down though. So we need a setup to form, because as of right now, we're taking the stairway to heaven right now. This is just step after step after step. But you could see very small movements through the Asian session. Then we started running stronger. And as the week was ending, it started dying out. So we just want to see how the market responds when it opens up, and then we'll go from there. So let's start marking up everything and get moving forward. I am going to clear my charts like I always do at the beginning of the week. Go to the daily and let's mark up our zones. So got our buy side and our daily sell side, and we cleared out this liquidity. Just want to put it there for reference. We know if it does pull back, we kind of want to go through this area to show us its hand that it wants to continue to at least fill up this bar on the sell side, if not go lower. This gap is completely filled right here on the daily. We had that marked up. We have a little bit of price. We're going from 52 up to 56, so about $4 more up. So let's go down to the 4-hour now. Pull out the liquidity some more. Pull out that so we know. Close this up a little bit. Make it look nice and tidy. So on the 4-hour, we got this liquidity up here. We could reach up to there. But I do think we're going to have a pullback next week since everyone's looking like the market's super strong. And that dollar, it's not like the dollar really sold off heavily. It's just kind of ranging. It did sell off, but compared to this 4-hour chart, this went on a rip, cleared out its range. So something's fishy. And if we look at the other markets, they all ran. This one's already in that mitigation block from here. Well, it was on a higher time frame, so it's this one. It's already in there, whereas the one on the other two charts, it's not quite there yet. So maybe this will start showing us a sign if it's going to reverse. And for the dollar, has this little fair value gap to fill in. Got an order block here. So just be patient. Wait for the market to show you what it's gonna do. Because right now, anyone who just buys strength is taking buys right now, and the market will love that liquidity once they engineer enough of it. So they're going somewhere. They're seeking somewhere. They're collecting a bunch of stops. And when everyone's on the buy now, you know they like to go back the opposite way. Nothing goes up forever. So on the 4-hour chart, I don't really have anything to mark up besides if we go, I think we could go back to the daily. So we got this down, up, lower, down. Got that breaker right there. It could go to pretty much the daily sell side. So I'm not going to mark it up. Just something to know. 50 point of that was just above this daily buy side, not sell side. So I'm looking for a pullback into this range. And if we do that 50% of the wick, you're looking at somewhere up here in the 407s. Going on to the 1 hour, all we really could do right now is draw out this fib. There's really nothing that's showing it's going back, but you can see that 50% of this move right around this daily buy side liquidity. So if we're gonna get in on lower time frame shorts, I'm looking to take it down to this range. We were anywhere from 39.89 up to I think it was right above this, somewhere right up here, like 4,005. So this range, if I'm taking shorts, once we get down here, I'm going to be cautious. I want to see what price is doing. Are we going to do a pullback and keep going down? Or was this the pullback to continue up? So keep that on the chart just so you know. Obviously, this is not a swing point. It may go higher, so we got to readjust the fib. And maybe it does eventually line up right here if it goes up a little bit at the beginning of the week. So we want to see how the market opens up later today and tomorrow and how everything runs. Let's go into the open range gaps, new week opening gaps, all that stuff. So what I thought was kind of coincidental of why this was such a strong run is look at all these gaps up here at left, right? All these gaps. I'm not going to draw Monday out just because the week's there. We could draw a Wednesday out just so you could kind of get the idea. And we'll draw Monday out a little more. Let me get this one. Okay. Darker red ones I'm more worried about anyways. So all these gaps, look, they all got taken care of. That's why I'm not drawing them out anymore. It left a bunch of these. It ran right through them and took off. Now this one we could take out. It's kind of been filled, right? We ran through it. It's done its purpose. So we'll take that one off the chart. Wednesday, gap down, ran through it, gapped right back through it, ran to it, sold off. So I do like this area still. This Monday one, we could take off. Got that new week opening gap. Pretty much it ran through on the sell side, but really no buy offered through here besides through these wicks. No bodies went through it. So I still like this area. This one, Friday, kind of went up through it a little past halfway. Boom, gap down. Tuesday, we're just now getting into Tuesday. So that's why I think price is running up so strong. It wants to start getting into these areas. And I think we're still going down. I don't think the market's recovered. I don't think we're out of trouble quite yet. It has had a big sell-off. So if you look here, that initial run gapped back down even lower. Here, gapped up, ran even lower. Running up, lower, running up, lower, running up, lower, running up, lower. So let's say we're on this leg right now. We're going to start having a nice push up. Well, let's measure this move. Okay. And let's move this over here. gets us right into those areas where those gaps are open. And if I'm not saying the market does the exact same thing. This is not what I'm saying. I like to play around with past data and kind of see what could happen. So basically, if we're going to go up higher into these gaps, we're looking for somewhat of a pullback to the 420 range if we keep running up. And then you can see after that, big push starts dying out, big pullback almost to the same area. So this is going to be, I think, a big change in the market, but no one knows. You just need to get ideas, figure out key levels, what could happen, where's your interest at, and that's how you're going to put a good plan going into next week. So let's go back to the grid and let's see if there's anything we're worried about. See, for the dollar, if we pull out the fib, it's in great pullback territory. So I'm looking for this to get stronger, which would give us a sign this is going back down. It could drop a little more. Maybe it goes back into the order block. This would get these objectives all checked off, and then we would go back down. So just waiting for the market. I don't have we're going to continue up or we're going to go down. I think we're going to go up and then down. Or if we're going to continue to keep going higher, we're going down and then up. So I'm just going to wait for price to tell me what it wants by Monday at 6:30 my time or 9:30 Eastern time. We'll reassess it and figure out some trades there. So let's look into the economic calendar now. Next week, a lot of high risk. We got Powell testimony at 7 a.m. So that's Tuesday. Nothing too much on Monday. So maybe a calm trading session. Then we go down to Wednesday. We got the ADP employment change, balance of trade, jolt job openings, and then Powell again. That man's going to lose his voice. He's speaking a lot. Thursday, jobless claims, 4-week, continuing jobless claims, initial jobless claims. Then bringing in Friday, non-farm payrolls, private unemployment rate. So big movement here. What does that mean? How does that affect what I'm thinking in the market? I'm thinking initial run up in the week, get everyone on the buys, and then smack it down, take out all that liquidity. That's what I would do because everyone's sold on a buy right now. We're gaining strength. So try to do the opposite of what it looks like, but I don't just gamble on the opposite. I wait for it to show me it's ready to go the opposite way. Last thing I want to look at before we close up this week is the contracts. We're in March still. Let me open this up more so we could see these ads. Like to block it. We're in March still. A lot of the volume's in March, but we are switching to the June contract soon. So keep an eye on this. This is barchart.com, futures quotes, ESZ22, futures prices, and we're going in. I know I'm selling the December, but it has the list. So if I click on March, you'll get a breakdown of this. Look, really bullish. And we can see on the full chart real quick and do commitment of traders. Kind of went through this quick. So small spec blue, large green, and commercial red. So usually you want to go the opposite of this. Start getting into the large and commercial. So let's now, with that in mind, you can see buys are growing for the retail traders. Not many contracts, right? Selling. This is going down. Went up a little bit. This is a telltale sign for me. They're in their selling positions. They're in their buying positions. These people like to win most of the time. I think we're going to go the opposite way. And you can see they're offering more liquidity. They're giving out contracts, which means they're selling the contracts. I think this is a false run, and we're going to smack through. Can't predict the future. You just look and understand what is happening and what could happen. Keep in mind the contract. We will be switching in TradingView on Friday. It's going to switch over to the June contracts. So keep an eye on the volume. Keep an eye on the volume. Once this open interest gets to the same or more than the open interest on March, you're going to want to make sure you switch over to that June contract. So keep an eye out. You know the areas, the news for the next week. Keep an eye and just be ready to react to what the market shows you and get in on the big money moves. If you haven't already subscribed, click that thumbs up. And also, we are now producing journals for traders, whether you want to do the digital one where you can print it out at home or take notes on your iPad, or we have the full printable book that we could ship to you. Link is in the description. Check that out. Highly recommend. And follow us on TikTok if you haven't already. We're going to be posting a lot of quick tips and mindset videos on there, as well as our YouTube shorts, but it's much easier if you're on TikTok. That'll give it to you. And looking forward to grow with you guys this year. We have a lot coming. Becoming a Trader course is filming right now. We have the mindset of the trader already planned out. We'll be filming that next. So lots of education coming this year, and I can't wait to grow with you all.